I think we move to item number 62. Chief Muncy on the phone?
Yes, sir, I am here. This item 62, acting as governing body of the San Bernardino County Fire Protection District. You're going to find the proposed actions from the previous board item are exempt from review pursuant to the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, in accordance to the State CEQA Guidelines Section 15061, B3, General Rule. Second, pursuant to the California Elections Code 9310A, the Board of Directors shall do only one of the following. A, consider a proposed ordinance that would adopt the initiative to repeal the special tax associated with the Fire Protection Service Zone 5 initiative petition measure without alteration and either as part of this item or within 10 days from today's date. Approved introduction of the proposed ordinance, read title only of the proposed ordinance and adopt proposed ordinance. Or B, submit the initiative petition measure without alteration to the voters pursuant to Elections Code Section 1405. I recommend that the board take action on number 1 and 2, and if needed, we'll discuss item number 62-3.
For years now, I have been asking that we get this matter before the voters, that it is important that the voters have a say when they're going to be having a tax levied upon them. And it's disappointing to me that this had to come by initiative petition rather than this board taking action, though I know we were moving in that direction. The signatures have been filed before we were able to do that, and probably before we would be able to do it given the existing crisis and how our resources are being spread thin right now. So I would suggest that we move forward and put this on the ballot and let the voters have their say.
Chief, having jumped into the middle of this process for clarification, the original vote was by the people in Hellendale by a 2/3 passage, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then through the actions of LAVCO, it was expanded at the urging and the request of, I believe it was 4 additional cities, Upland, San Bernardino, Needles, and 29 Palms. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So then those communities that wanted fire protection to be paid for and their citizens to be taxed, this would unwind the entire Fire Protection 5 zone, not just the expansion area that we had voted on to unwind last time.
That is correct, ma'am. That includes all the annexations of the cities that you mentioned as their funding mechanism, either partially or in whole as the city of 29 Palms, as well as the expansion area.
So do those cities then just not have fire protection? They won't be served by county fire if this is unwound? And how is it that we can then basically trump like the Hellendale's original vote? Why wouldn't their area just stand alone since they've already voted this in?
So part of that's a legal question, so I would refer to county council as far as county fire maintaining service in those areas without funding. And the second part that I would ask county council to ask is how can we unwind a special tax that was passed by the citizens of Hellendale?
It's set up as a vote of the entire district, not just the annexation area. So yes, it would, if it is repealed, it would wipe out what Hellendale did back in 2006.
Do those communities have the opportunity to put ballot measures on at the same time if they'd like to tax themselves to continue to have fire service provided?
We would have to look at that, but again, I think we would be back to what we had prior to the kind of unified FP5, that it would be individual communities that would be voting to tax themselves, much as Hellendale did initially, yes.
The fact that some of them are being taxed, it's how that expansion area was brought forward. So we want to ensure that we're still providing services to those that want it and giving those that wanted a fair option for how they weighed in. So thank you very much for the clarification.
To further clarify that, this is Chief Muncy. The answer is yes, they are part of our fire protection district. All those cities, they are annexed into the district. And so we would provide service to all those areas, but the level of service could be adversely affected by the loss of FP5.
Any public comments on this matter?
From Patrick Jackson. I urge the Board of Directors to immediately adopt the initiative to repeal the special tax associated with fire protection service Zone 5. The special tax imposed by the expansion of Service Zone 5 violates the state constitution in that it was not submitted to the electorate and approved by a 2/3 vote. I also urge the Board of Directors to take all necessary action for the county to reimburse the property owners who were required to pay the special tax imposed by the expansion of Service Zone 5, including the property owners in 29 Palms. Thank you.
So I'll move the findings in item 1 and 2B, calling for submitting this to the voters.
I would second that.
Okay, we got a motion by Supervisor Rutherford, second by Supervisor Rao. Then we move on to number 3, a special election or November 3rd.
Mr. Chair, I'll move the special election for November 3rd.
I'll second.
To clarify, we are adopting 3A?
3A.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
So we got a motion by Supervisor Rutherford, second by Supervisor Lovingood. Roll call vote, please.